Welcome to another edition of the Froggy Wednesdays on the Stripe Show podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We're joined every week by a special guest, and this week is no different. We've got a PGA Tour rookie and a guy who really has an amazing story, and he's here to tell us all about it. Chris Baker, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, buddy. Appreciate it, Froggy.
So we had a really good week this week. The Rocket Mortgage was a good tournament, had a really good field there, and so now we've got one more tournament before we head into our final major of the year. The Open Championship is next week, and so the field is not set 100%. Is that correct, Chris?
As far as I know, yeah. There's playing the John Deere this week, and I believe one guy from the field this week will get in. It's not already exempt. I think the criteria is top five finishers. The low man of that top five already not exempt will get in. So obviously one more guy is going to go this week, and add that to the list of other things that winning a golf tournament or playing well in a golf tournament does for you. So excited for what this week brings.
You know, as we approach the Open Championship every year, we really kind of get split up. Some guys go over early. There's a lot of guys playing the Scottish Open that starts tomorrow, or actually late tonight if you're watching it on East Coast time. And then we've still got the John Deere here, where there's from what I understand and what I've heard in the past, there's a plane that a lot of guys get on and everybody goes over together. Is that true?
Yeah, I don't know much about it. Never been on that one, obviously, but I heard it's a smaller number this year than normally. I think just with the COVID restrictions and traveling overseas, and people are just doing their thing. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys already over there, maybe more than normal, just because of all the restrictions and the rules and a lot of hoops you have to jump through. But love to be on that plane. That'd be a cool trip.
I know, right? So if you're watching this on YouTube, we're recording this on Tuesday, the day before it posts. And so right now, while we're doing this, we're also watching the match with Phil and Tom Brady versus Bryson and Aaron Rodgers. So if you're watching this and you're wondering why I'm wearing Buccaneer stuff, well, it's because I'm watching my man Tom Brady try to win something else. Chris, is there anything Tom Brady's not good at? I don't think we figured that out yet.
He's pretty incredible. He was not good at letting the Colts win. That's one thing he was not good at.
He was not good at. No, he was not. I think the Colts. Peyton Manning got the best of him a couple of times.
We got him in 2008, and other than that, I mean, gosh, that was a tough road to the Super Bowl playing Tom Brady. So
it was. So you bring up the Colts, and that's funny. So I want to talk about Chris Baker gets his start on a 9-hole course in Indiana. Is that where the golf bug officially bit you?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, Hickory Hills, we moved. My family moved there in Brownstown in 1995-ish, probably. So grew up playing junior golf at Hickory Hills. Had a lot of friends. We just kind of meet at the golf course and spend our days there, be it hitting golf balls, hitting wiffle balls, finding golf balls. We just had a lot of fun just kind of growing up on the golf course. And it was a cool way to grow up, and having access to a little nine-hole golf course that was very accommodating to the kids in junior golf, and a pro there that was awesome. Just Southern Indiana was a great spot for me, and had 3 golf courses in the area that I ended up playing on, and just a great way to spend my childhood and growing up.
Now, did you learn golf from a pro there at the golf course, or are you pretty much self-taught early on? Like, how does that go from when you go to your parents and you're like, you know what, I kind of like this, I'm kind of into it?
I would say my dad introduced me to the game for sure. My dad he skied, professional skier. So he had the bug of, professional sports. He probably skied like Korn Ferry level. But that kind of, I mean, he was always in the competitive nature of things. So he got me into golf. I just remember playing some golf with him. I think there was definitely John Olson. He was the pro at Hickory Hills. He had junior golf lessons. He'd probably have 40 kids on, I don't know, call it Thursdays. I don't even know what day, Tuesdays. I'm not sure what it was. We would, get together. He would teach us the rules of golf. He would teach us just everything about golf, like how to, grow up around the game. And then we'd go play, 3 holes generally, come back. We'd have a, hamburger, a hot dog, and just kind of all hang out. And it was fun. It was more fun than anything. Nothing more than that, really, just kind of introducing us to the game and teach us some life lessons through golf. So it was very cool.
At what age did it register maybe to you, maybe before anybody else, or maybe other people saw it first? At what age did you think, you know what? I might be good enough to play this at a high level.
It's tough because I really don't even know. I mean, I think even going through college, um, I didn't even know how or if I wanted to do it. I mean, I wanted to play golf. Like it was my, like I loved playing golf. Like I just loved going out and trying to get better, and just trying to be as good as you could every single day. And that was just, that's kind of how I am. I'm just a grinder, just trying to make it work. And I don't know if there's ever a time. I think I just turned pro. There's a couple crazy stories I have as far as how I started, but yeah, I just turned pro after college, and I've been running since. So it's been a cool run, and just still trying to get to the top and trying to be as good as I can.
Right. I definitely want to get to some of those stories, but with it being your first full year on the PGA Tour, I saw the emotion that you showed at the Corn Ferry Championship when you won. So I know there has been a long road getting to this point. It's not an overnight success story.
Yeah.
Um, Talk a little bit about those emotions that you had when you finally realized that all the work you've put in and you finally get to the Corn Ferry Championship and you get that coveted PGA Tour card.
Yeah. I mean, that was an unbelievable day. I mean, it's a it was a dream of mine to play on the PGA Tour. Obviously, I want to play at a higher level than just being here. I want to play and compete and win,
Right.
and I know I can do that. But that day was it was incredible. I So Gary Christian, this is a fun story. So Gary Christian, he's a reporter now for I think Golf Channel. He does some stuff, some broadcasting stuff. But we played on the Corn Ferry Tour together years back, and before I'm teeing off, he kind of looks at me. He goes, "Chris," he goes, there's days and times where it's just your time, and he goes, "Today's your time," and
Wow.
that was before I teed off. So it was an amazing day, a very emotional day, and it was just it couldn't have came together better. I mean, it was in my home state of Indiana, and very cool experience.
What are some of the biggest things that you've learned on the tour? Things that maybe you thought were one way and they're another way. What are some of the biggest life lessons that you've learned?
Out here, I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of um, everybody's very good at golf. Like
Yeah.
it's the highest level. I mean, this is the best of the best, right? And um, you can get sidetracked, easily. Start worrying about things that really don't need to be worrying about in your game, and just kind of put trust in your abilities and work hard and make every day as good as you can. Outside of that, I mean, learning, traveling, it's obviously crazy. And I've been on the PGA Tour for 2 years now, I guess, because of COVID, but that threw a wrinkle in things. It's just now starting to get back to, I would say, closer to full capacity. Detroit last week was incredible. Um, there was a lot of fans and spectators, and
Right.
that was something I'd missed. I mean, the PGA Tour is, I mean, not only playing golf at the highest level, but it's the stage and the atmosphere and the experience is really cool. And it's been a bummer not to have that, but last week it was back. It was really exciting to see, and looking forward to more events like that.
Right. Well, your game has really come around after missing. I believe you had missed six straight cuts. Now you've made three straight cuts, including T26 at the U.S. Open. What changed in your game? Is there any one specific thing that changed?
Um, Froggy, I got hurt last year. Basically this week last year, hurt my shoulder. And to be honest, I probably should have sat out and not played, but I mean, I'm stubborn, and
Right.
I want to work hard and make things better. And I regressed. I went backwards. Having a hurt shoulder, my swing got off. I was able to somewhat keep it together just because I was grinding and trying my best and whatever. But that was bad. I mean, the injury was way worse than I led it to be. Finally getting healthy. I mean, I've been healthy for probably a couple months. I mean, I really haven't felt the left shoulder at all, and been working on my swing hard, and made some changes there. But been putting it very nice here as of late. But it just golf is one of those games that confidence, good things happen, and you just kind of keep snowballing, right? You keep going, and that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm trying to stay upbeat and just keep the momentum going that way.
Do you find it hard sometimes when you're playing with a guy? And I only ask this because I do this sometimes when I'm playing with my buddies. Do you do you guys as tour pros, do you see somebody hitting it really good and you see they're doing something maybe different than you're doing? And then you find yourself like, well, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, it's really easy. I mean, I think that's where the best golfers out there, they know what they do well,
Right.
and they just do that very, very well. I guess an easy reference, right? Where John Deere, Iowa, Quad Cities, Zach Johnson, right? Like Zach is, I mean, he was. I looked up to Zach, and I still do. I mean, Zach's an awesome guy, and he's very, very. His game's impressive and amazing.
Yeah.
But Zach knows what he does well, and he just does that and does it to the best of his ability. And his career has been amazing, right? So he's been very uber focused on just doing that, not watching Bryson or Phil and these guys like that that would play different games than him. I mean, they're top 10, top 5 in the world right now, but he's not looking at them being like, they hit it far. I need to swing far harder and hit it
Right.
farther. And my game is wedges and putting, and I'm gonna do that and be really good at it. And he's done amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Rory admitted that he got caught up in chasing distance, and it's got to be difficult not to do. Have you ever played with a guy and felt somewhat intimidated by as far as they hit the ball and think to yourself that I can't do this?
Yeah, I mean, definitely for sure. I mean, I hit the ball plenty far, but not far as some, right? I mean, there's some guys that absolutely bomb it, and
Right.
it is intimidating. I mean, you think about you break down their golf game and they hit their driver and they've got a wedge, right? And I've got a 7-iron.
Right.
I mean, just statistics say that a wedge you're going to hit closer than a 7-iron,
Right.
regardless of how good you are with a 7-iron. Like statistics are in the guy with the wedge's favor. So it is daunting, right? It gives him he's got more room for error technically, I guess. But you know, like I said before, I'm a grinder. I want to get better, and that's just kind of the road I'm on. And we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I'd love to compete for a win one of these days, and I know I can do it. I'm just going to keep working harder.
Rapsodo mobile launch monitor. Improve your golf swing today. Pro level launch data in the palm of your hand. It is very accurate, within 2% of a $20,000 unit. The Rapsodo MLM app automatically tracks stats and stores video with Shot Tracer, helpful for club gapping and understanding true distances for each club. Rapsodo MLM provides immediate feedback, data, and creates a better practice environment, not mindlessly hitting balls. Extremely portable, cases about the size of a rangefinder. And you know what? You can use it both indoors and outdoors. I love this launch monitor. It's the Rapsodo mobile launch monitor. Check it out at rapsodo.com, rapsodo.com, rapsodo.com.
I mean, it's got to be a mental kind of mind screw when, for example, at the Arnold Palmer, Bryson drives it over the pond on, I believe it was 6.
Yeah.
And, Lee Westwood hits his driver out there. He hits it up there. Now they're both on the green in 4, and they're both struggling for par. It's like, wait a second.
Right.
Like all that distance didn't pay off on that hole. And I think we've seen that in some cases with Bryson where it was, well, Augusta's a par 65 for me or whatever
Right.
he had said, where sometimes the distance doesn't work. And a guy like Bernhard Longer played with Bryson at Augusta and beat him. I
Right.
mean, distance is not everything.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the thing with golf is there's so many different ways to win and compete, and I think people see one side of the story, right? They always see the story that's hot, that story that's on the top of the leaderboard, and
Right.
I mean, there's so many different examples of guys that don't hit it far that win and compete. I mean, you think that you have to be the best putter, you have to be the best driver, you have to be the best iron player and wedger to win a golf tournament. Well, like you look at statistics and it says that, if you do one of those categories very, very well and lead by a lot, like you don't have to be the best at the other 3. So, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways to win a golf tournament and compete and do great things. But yeah, I mean, obviously it makes things easier for sure.
Chris, in your opinion, what is the most important thing that will get you to winning?
Just mental, like basically belief, just staying strong and staying just confident. I think that's the toughest part. I mean, I know I can compete and do well, but I struggle with definitely believing and that part of the game. But I mean, there's weeks where you're going to do things great, and there's weeks that it's not going to be great. It's just you got to be able to somehow stay level headed and keep working hard. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, last week at the Rocket Mortgage, your third round was phenomenal. You really got yourself into the mix. Now, was there anything different you did in the third round that you didn't do in 1, 2, and 4? Or is it just one of those days where everything is just kind of clicking on that day?
Yeah. I putted it great that day. I hit it well that day. That was a nice day. Sunday, I just kind of just off. I mean, I didn't feel any different. The first hole, I hit in the middle of the fairway, hit a wedge that I actually liked. I flew maybe 3 yards too far and in the rough and just legit buried and couldn't make par. And then the next hole, 3-putted, which I hadn't been doing, and just kind of got rattled a little bit. And then just it was a frustrating day for sure. And that's one thing I this week I don't want to have that happen. Bad golf happens, but I felt like I just kind of got rattled and it ended up poorly. So, but that Saturday was a great day. I mean, I fully trusted everything. I was swinging it great, putting it great. It's just one of those days that it's a fun round of golf, and we need more of those.
All right. We all need more of those. I mean, I have days where just, as an amateur, I go to the golf course and I'm on the way there and I'm thinking, man, my swing's feeling good. I'll go to the range. I warm up. I hit it great. And then go to the golf course and nothing works. And then I've had the complete opposite where I go to the golf course. I'm trying this new thing, some video I watched online. I go to the range. I skank it around. And then I go out on the golf course and score well. It makes no sense.
It does. It really doesn't. I mean, golf. So I played with a kid today, just graduated from Iowa State. So he's in the field, both 2 Cyclones. So I'm actually playing with him this week, Thursday and Friday. So my advice to him was basically just, make a plan, stick to a strategy, work on that, and just do it as good as you can. And every day is going to be different. But if you make a plan, strategy, that's where getting a lesson or having someone come up with some sort of a strategy to make your golf game better, like Zach, right? I'll go back to Zach Johnson. At some point, I'm sure he had somebody say, hey, let's get really good at wedges. And, the year that he won the Masters,
he didn't go for any par 5 and 2.
He didn't go for a single par 5 and 2, right? And he made, I don't know how many birdies he made, but I venture to guess it was probably 60% birdie, 60-70% birdies on the par 5s. And that just speaks to having a plan and working hard at what he's really good at. And that's golf. I mean, every day is not going to be perfect and amazing, but if you have a plan and kind of stick with what you're doing, I think you can do good with it.
Yeah, when you're out on the golf course, are there certain holes that are holes where you should go at the pin, and there's other holes where you're just hitting at the middle of the green and trying to get out of there with a par?
For sure, and as Sunday was folding poorly for me in Detroit, I was just kind of thinking to myself, what do I need to do to be competitive, or how do I be better, next week or the week after when I'm in this position again. And I really thought about it, and I was like, these pins are tough. They're very, very difficult pins. And I had probably at least three balls that were, a couple feet off the green, right? And they're buried in the rough and can't make par because they're short-sided and deep, deep rough, and just couldn't get up and down. So I thought to myself, let's make a plan next time and really stick to it and say, okay, these are the holes, because we get the pin sheets the night before. Look at the hole and say, this hole we need to be cautious, or we need to let's give ourselves a 15, 20-foot putt for birdie on the safe side of the hole. If we make the putt, great. If we don't, okay, no worries. Make our par, move on to the next. And then let's set a strategy where we have six holes, or however many holes that are straight green lights. Let's make birdie. Let's hit it close here, and see what happens.
Are you a stats guy? Are you a guy that, for example, like what you're good at, what your strengths are, and you know that these are your weaknesses, and you try to build on those?
Um, I'd be lying if I said I was, right. Like I said, I mean, I think I need to get better at that. I think that's something that's definitely an area I can improve on. Um, statistics, I think statistics are the best way to make golf um, almost a business. Like take out the emotional side of golf, right? Like
Wow.
be smart, play smart, and just play to the numbers. And that's the best way to give yourself a chance to be competitive, I believe.
Now, when you said that you're playing with some guys that are fellow Cyclones this week, when you look at your pairing, are there some pairings you get excited about, and there's other pairings that you're like, "Well, I don't know this guy," or there's some guys that you'd rather not play with? Or are you just playing your game and it doesn't matter?
I wish I could say I played my game. It doesn't matter.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, I mean, I get along with. I mean, I try to get along and not ruffle feathers and with everybody. But yeah, I mean, there's guys that I enjoy playing with more than others. But at the same time, you have to play your game, and I hate to have external things bother you. And I think the strongest guys mentally don't let that happen.
Right,
Tiger Woods, right? Like Tiger.
Right.
I mean, he controlled the arena. He controlled the course. He was just. I mean, everybody was at his peak. Everybody was intimidated of Tiger, right?
Right.
And I think that's something that everybody should do, right? I mean, not like do that, but let's say because everybody can't be that. Everybody can't be Tiger Woods.
Right.
But if you're able to control your own emotions, and
Right.
that's what you have to do.
Yeah, no matter what happens around you, you're going to be you.
Correct.
And everything else just happens.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he was able to do. And you saw that firsthand at the 2020 Farmers where you were paired with him. I'll never forget your tweet. You said, "Am I being punked? Is this really happening?"
Right.
And you and McCumber played with Tiger.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience and what
so
that was like playing with Tiger Woods.
That was I'm going to go ahead and say that Tiger's changed. I mean, I think everybody's seen that. He's not the Tiger that was. I mean, he's still uber focused and he still wants to play great. But Tiger was. I don't think back when Tiger was early Tiger, when he was winning and beating up on everybody, and he was very, very open and very helpful and very respectful, and it was just an amazing day of golf. Like I was playing with Tiger Woods at Torrey Pines South, like his home golf. I mean, like if Tiger had to be like a home golf course, that's it, right? And it was just an amazing day. Like Tiger was awesome, Joey was great, his caddy.
How'd you hit it?
Helpful. What's that?
How'd you hit it that day? Did you hit it good?
No. I played fine. Like I think I shot 74. Which on that golf course, that was 2 over. It's easy to do, right? I think I made double on 15. Other than that, I played even par. Played fine. Like I played good. It was a day that I'll never forget, and a day that I probably will never experience in my career. I mean, there was probably 5 to 6 rows deep of people on every single hole, right?
They were all there to see you. You know that, right?
They were, right? Like it was funny. I mentioned that to him at one point, and
Did you really?
He kind of chuckled. So,
I mean, did he have conversations with you about whether it's golf, whether it's other things, sports? I know he's really a sports guy too.
Yeah.
Were you able to have conversations with him?
Yeah, we talked early in the round for sure, and he was very open and very just helpful, right? Like kind of sharing experiences, and he was great. And I talked to him early on in the round. He started playing well, and I kind of backed off. I didn't want to just wear him out, right? And ask him questions, but he was awesome. Like it's a day I'll never forget, and it was something that I truly will look back and be like, that was really cool. I mean, like I've told before, I've actually got a picture of me and Tiger playing at Torrey Pines. Like, I mean, who does that, right? Like,
Right.
I mean,
You grew up. I mean, you're young enough. You grew up watching Tiger Woods,
for
correct?
sure, right? Like, idol, right? I mean,
Right.
I mean, respect the guy. He's been amazing for the game of golf. So, it was amazing. It was a cool day.
Did you hit any shots where he said like "nice shot," or was I mean, were there any of those where you're like, I just hit that in front of Tiger Woods?
Yeah, he was very supportive and very, like, every time, Tyler and I did something well, he would say good shot. And
Oh, that's good.
yeah, it was really cool. I mean,
Did you beat him on some holes? Please tell me you beat him on at least one hole.
Sure I did, right? Like, I don't know. I didn't break it down to that. I know we both birdied the third hole, which was really cool. It was neat. We both hit 2 nice shots in there and two nice putts, and that was a cool hole. But the fourth hole was cool. He chipped in on 4.
Wow.
I'll never forget the first hole. I mean, the first hole at Torrey Pines.
Were you nervous on that first tee? Were you just like, just
I mean,
let me hit the ball?
A little bit, for sure. I was nervous, so I hit the tee shot in the left rough, wedged that one out because it's thick rough, and then I left myself with like a 60-yard wedge shot to the front pin.
Right.
Nervous on that one.
Yeah, sure.
little wedge.
I can go many different ways.
Yeah,
I can go
front
fat
pin.
or thin it, or I mean, there's a lot of different ways that goes.
So yeah, that was my nerves there, but I'll never forget that hole. Right, Tiger hits in that left bunker off the tee, and he hits I'd venture to guess, a 9-iron right out of the bunker to the front pin, and just the sound of that iron shot was beautiful. It was amazing, and he hits it up there, and then he rolls the putt in for birdie.
Wow,
place goes crazy, right? And I know I'm thinking to myself at this point, I'm like, this is incredible. Like, Tiger Woods, Torrey Pines South, like, he's gonna shoot 64 today, and it's gonna be the greatest day ever, right? Like, at that point, like, I obviously still wanted to play well. I think I was 14th. We were both tied for 14 or something like that going into Saturday's round. So it still means a lot for me to play well.
right?
But, I mean, I'm cheering for him.
Right.
Like,
right.
I find myself being like, I mean, that was a cool hole. He made birdie. Everybody goes crazy. I'm like, he's gonna shoot 64. This is gonna be the greatest day ever. And at some point, Tyler and I looked at each other like, this is really cool. Like, we're gonna really, like, let's enjoy this day, because this is something we'll never ever forget, and it's just gonna be a great day.
Wow, that's unbelievable. That's a great story. Wow, I had to be so nervous, and it's great that he was so welcoming and warm and nice, because at least it makes it a pleasant experience. Nothing's worse than when you're excited for something and then it doesn't go as you hoped it would.
Right.
And it's great that it didn't turn out that way, but it's something you're going to have as a memory for the rest of your life.
For sure. Definitely. Exactly.
Going back to when you are trying to get on to the PGA Tour, and I don't think people understand how difficult the road is. The average person, they play with a guy at their club, he's really good, like, oh, that guy could play on tour. Like, there's absolutely no chance. Were you even surprised at the talent level, the difference? Even the Korn Ferry Tour, people don't realize the Korn Ferry Tour is extremely talented players that are they just need a couple breaks.
Uber talented. Yeah, I mean, it's the amount of talent playing golf right now it's incredible.
Do you think it's better than it's ever been because of equipment, because of data, because of technology? There's just so much that we're now experiencing real athletes playing our game that we love so much.
Yeah,
it feels like there's better talent than there's ever been across the board.
It's hard to say, right? But I think at every level, every sport, right? Like, you said Tom Brady. What is he not good at?
Right.
Like, Tom Brady is he 45?
He's 44. I think he's 43. He will be 44 when football season.
Right. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And he's still playing at maybe the highest level he's played, right? Like,
well, I'll tell you, I was lucky enough. I went to the Super Bowl, my son and I, in Tampa.
Yeah.
We are huge Buccaneers fans, and I watched it firsthand. And I tell you, the guy does not look like he has missed a beat whatsoever. That whole, Max Kellerman said he fell off a cliff. He must have fell right onto the very next one, because he is still absolutely, he hasn't fallen off. And I know that there's going to come a time he will fall off. And I know that Tiger Woods, I still believe if injuries hadn't happened, Tiger Woods would have surpassed Jack's total of majors. But when when Tiger won the 2019 Masters, it looked like he had been rejuvenated, like he was going to do it all over again.
Right.
Like there's certain guys that the talent level just never ends.
Yeah, just there's so much technology, information, athletes. I mean, no matter what sport it is, the best of the best are here right now, right? And I think the scary part is I think it's just going to always get better, right? And just there's so much information and training and coaching and the data, the information. Like you can just break things down to the smallest pieces, and then work on those little pieces, right? And then put the whole puzzle together. And I mean, nutrition. I mean, everything. There's just so much information, and it's just it's really cool to see, and it's amazing, and it's scary for me because I'm not a young 22-year-old kid out of college that's still got a lot of time. I mean, maybe I hope I've got plenty of time left to play on the PGA Tour and continue to get better, but everybody's getting better and working hard, and the talent just keeps going up. So it's cool for me because I have to push and get better, but it's also it's difficult.
It is, Chris. You also went. I know you were on the eGolf tour. You did the NGA. You were on so many different mini tours. Just how tough is it at that level to make ends meet so you can keep playing? How close was there ever a time you thought about, I've got to go do something else?
Yeah, I've always said if you haven't thought about quitting, you haven't played long enough. So yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean it's financially difficult. It's mentally it's a big sacrifice to travel and be away from family and friends, and it's a grind. But I've enjoyed the process of the whole thing. So I've thought about quitting. So I've played long enough.
You really did think about quitting?
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, for sure. So I've had some low points for sure, and made it through it. And I'm here now. So a great opportunity ahead of me. And yeah, it's been a grind, but there's been a lot of things. It's a lot of stories and a lot of places and a lot of people I've met. It's been extremely, extremely amazing. And I want to change the way I've done it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes you appreciate it more when it doesn't just show up on your front doorstep, when it's something that you're searching for and you finally find it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at where you're at, and it's you appreciate how all the work and all the places you've been for sure.
Now, we share a couple mutual friends. I know we both know Brian LaRoche, Brian Golf on Instagram, and we also know Stuart Moore. Now, Stuart was the PR guy for the Korn Ferry Tour, and now is the PR director for the PGA Tour. And I was always under the impression that once you got your PGA Tour card, that you were just in. Like you just played whenever you wanted to play for however, for that year, as long as you were in the money standings. But I found out that it doesn't work that way.
No, it's the first year, the rookie year on the PGA Tour it's arguably the most difficult year because so essentially the way it works is there's a Korn Ferry Tour category, and there's 50 guys in that list. Mm-hmm. Every week there's categories on the PGA Tour starting from winners, masters, majors, all those winners, I guess major winners on top. And then it goes tournament winners, and then it goes top 125 from previous season. And then it'll go, I don't know, medical, right? Major medical guys. And then it'll go down finally to get to my category. Right. So
that's a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys, right? So you got the Tiger Woods, the Brooks Koepkas, the Brysons, the Roy McIlroys. Those guys are on top, right? They're up here. Jordan Spieth, they're up here, and then
Dustin,
all those guys, they're up top. And then if they want to play, right, they play whatever they want.
For those guys, they do play whenever they want to play.
Right. If you keep your car, if I finish top 125 this year, next year looks very good for me, right?
Okay.
Like I'll play anything I want. But the weeks that guys don't want to play, or they've played too many in a row, or whatever situation is,
right,
they pull out, and then that makes the Korn Ferry Tour guys get in deeper, right? more
Okay.
guys in the category get in. So events like now we're playing late in the year when people are kind of getting tired and they've played forever and whatnot. They're
Right.
they're getting ready for the playoffs. They're taking some weeks off here leading up to the playoffs. So the full Corn Ferry Tour category will get in. But invitationals, I won't get those. But it is difficult. Yeah. So it's a little bit more different than you get your PGA Tour card and you play every single event.
How do you go about planning your schedule around that? So are there certain tournaments you're going to get in, and then there's other ones you just kind of sit and wait?
Yeah. I mean, there are events that we know, like the John Deere, like this week, like I was pretty confident I was going to get in this event. Detroit last week, I was pretty confident, although it got closer than I had thought.
Right.
So there's events historically. You look at the numbers from past years, you kind of know where you're going to stand. So planning's tough. The rookie year scheduling and making a schedule is difficult. But
now, where are you right now? So at the end of the year, your goal is to be in the top 125.
correct.
Are you in the 125 now?
We're putting on those hiking boots right now and the climbing shoes, and we got a hill to climb. But
that T26 at the U.S. Open had to help.
Sneaky, yeah, of course, everything helps. But I think I got 35 FedEx Cup points for that week, and it takes 400 to keep your card.
Okay.
So I think I'm right at about 100 points right now. So I need 300 points.
So we need a good week this week at the John Deere.
Well, we don't need it, but we don't have to have it. But I'd love to have it.
It'd be really nice. Now, does this course fit your eye? Does it fit your game?
This first year out here, first time I played this golf course, and it's a good golf course. It's a great golf course. I like it. It's bent grass. It's Midwest. It's I'm looking forward to this week for sure. It's a cool event, and it's one that I've grown up watching. I've seen. I mean, Zach Johnson, he won it. It's a good golf course. I think it can fit my game well, and I don't see, like, I know the winning scores are in the 20s, right? Like it's uber low scoring.
Right.
Right now I don't see it, but I mean, golf changes, right? Golf changes fast. You teed up Thursday and you get a little adrenaline and a little more focused, and I don't know, you go out and you shoot 65, right? Maybe that'll happen. Hopefully that'll happen. So
now they do. It's pretty shocking, and maybe I don't fully understand it, and I'm sure some other people don't as well. They can really change a golf course from one day to the next. Like you go out one day and it's easy, and the next day it's not. That's all set up, correct?
100%. Yeah, I mean they can make the greens faster. They can put the pins in more difficult positions. They move tee boxes around. The setups of golf courses, it's actually quite impressive and quite amazing to see how different and how more challenging they can make and play, for sure.
Right. What are you working on right now in your swing as you're coming into this week?
Right now, it's been definitely turning rotation, just hips. My hips don't turn great. I'm trying to get them kind of right hip turning up, left shoulder staying down, going back, and then right shoulder going down through the ball, kind of ground force stuff, which I have never really done before.
Right.
But I'm just trying to hit cuts.
Right. You know what? It's funny is because I know when I first started playing golf, and tomorrow on the podcast we're talking to Andrew Rice.
Okay.
And Andrew Rice is a coach. Yep. He's at the Weston in Savannah, and he teaches a lot of rotation, low and left exit, hit cuts. And that seems to be so different than from what I was taught when I first started playing golf. I was taught drop it inside, roll your hands over, and swing out to right field. And that was the way everybody was taught. But now the data has changed. And so now you don't need to roll the face over because obviously there's timing and it's not as accurate. It's crazy how much our game has changed. Were you taught that way too early on?
I think so. I mean, I think I've gotten to this point with a lot of good timing, and not to say I'm not going to use that, but I think I'm trying to get rid of less timing and more, movements and just square face. And like you said, the face doesn't need to rotate as much right now.
Right.
different instructors teach different things. And Andrew Rice, I mean, he knows the golf swing better than I do, right? I've met Andrew once, but there's so many different ways to get the job done, right? And there's so many different ways to teach the game, and I'm still learning, right? Like, that's the thing about golf. I think
we're all still learning.
Yeah, golf's an incredible sport because no matter where you are, you're always trying to improve or learn or do something, and that's
right.
I think that's why so many people play golf, because it's just you never have it figured out, right? Every day is different, and there's always something that gets you thinking or doing something.
You hit one good shot, you're like, I got it figured out.
Yeah.
I'll try that, and that works for a little while, and then before you know it, that doesn't work, and you find something else out. The only thing that I'm probably doing, well, many things I'm doing different than you're doing, is I go on YouTube and watch videos, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try. And you know what? It really is the worst thing ever. If you just stick with one thing and you do it right, you got a much better chance. I know another, I think a guy that you've seen in the past for instruction, TJ Yeaton, who's here in the Ponte Vedra, Jacksonville area as well. Who are you seeing for lessons for your swing coach now?
Right now, Adam Schreiber. I don't know if you know Adam or not, but he kind of comes down. He's in Jacksonville half the year, and then up in Michigan, Traverse City half the year, from what I understand. But he travels a fair bit. He's out here this week, and been working with him for probably a couple months now.
Good.
So it's going well.
Good. I mean, whatever the thing is once you meet that connection, it goes so much deeper than just the golf swing. It's also having a personal connection where you can talk about things, and there's so much more than just talking golf swing, and there is a personal.
Yeah, I mean, TJ's a great friend. I've worked with TJ in the past, and Tim Cook. I worked with Tim for a while. John Perna. I've worked with all these guys, and to be honest, like, they're great friends, and I keep great relationships with all of them. And Adam's a good guy, and it becomes a communication thing more than anything, and making a plan. And sometimes those plans work, sometimes those plans don't work. But I think you just have to come down and figure out, hey, this is what we're doing. We're gonna work on this. We're gonna make it work as good as you can, and just keep doing that, because if you keep watching different YouTube videos, I think you'll start spinning in circles. Make a plan, Froggy. Come up with a plan.
You're looking
Don't care what that plan is. Let's just do a plan.
But it really is. It's being committed to a swing, and it is difficult. But at the level that you're playing at, it's obviously much different than me. But my son's 18 years old, and so I got him into the game, and now to the point where he's playing from the tips. I'm playing from wherever the golf course is, like 6,500, 6,600 yards.
Yep.
He's playing from 7,200, 7,300 yards, and he's still hitting it past me. But at first it bothered me, but now we're at a case where it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch somebody who's really good at golf, even when you're not.
Yes.
But then sometimes he hits it past me, but Dad makes par and he doesn't. And I'm like, see, it's not all about how far you can hit it. It's who can get it in the hole the fastest.
Just walk by him and say, "Nice drive, son," as you're tapping, or tap in your birdie putt, right, and say, "Nice drive, son."
We just played. We played in Destin last weekend, and he bombs a drive to the very, very tip of the fairway. He's got 220 or 230 in, and he just smokes it. I mean, it's a tight landing spot. He smokes it onto the green to 20 feet.
Right.
I lay up, hit wedge to 3 feet. Make my putt. I make birdie. He rolls his eagle putt down. It lips out. He makes birdie. And he goes, wow, there's two ways to play this hole. I said, there sure is, but we both got the same score.
That's right.
It is. Before we let you go, I do want to get your point on, I do want to get your view on one other thing. The green reading book has been a real hot topic here lately. And some people say that, and I believe that green reading is an art. And I think that the people who read greens well should be rewarded. And they think that the greens books are slowing down play, and that the better putters will be rewarded when the green books are taken away. Where are you on this?
I've got mixed emotions for sure. I don't think either way is going to make things faster. I think a sneaky think that there might be a part of me that says if you take them away, it makes it slower. I think you can make that case, because obviously the book clarifies it and says, hey, like, this is kind of a general image. I mean, the greens books, they don't make putts for you, right? They just kind of show you some contours here or there. I mean, either way, right? If they're legal, I'm going to use it, right? If they're illegal, I'm not going to use it. As far as speeding up pace of play, I'm not sure which way it's going to go. So I really don't. I'm going to just play Switzerland on this one and say I'm just going to stay out of it and be happy either way, right? I think it's good green reading should be rewarded, but there's so many ways to learn, like technology, right? Like you said earlier, like there's so much information. I think people can learn to read greens, be it with their eyes, their feet, or whatever, right? You can learn to do that.
Right.
Aim point. There's just so many ways to do it, but I don't think it matters either way.
Right. Well, Chris, good luck this week at the John Deere. We will definitely be pulling for you, hoping for a W.
Yeah.
That will get you into the Open. If not, I assume you'll be at the Barbasol, correct?
I'll be there. Yeah.
We'll see you at the Barbasol, and then it's coming down to the towards the end of the season. We'll be in the playoffs before we know it. The Olympics will be in there somewhere, and there's a lot of really good golf coming up. We've had a really good season this year, and thank you so much for your time coming on the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Froggy. Appreciate it, buddy.
Good luck to you, man. Have a good week this week.
Thanks, pal. Take care.
I just want to interrupt this interview real quick and give a shout out to my friends over at OnCore Golf. OnCore provides some of the most cutting-edge technology in a golf ball that I have ever seen. Their team in Buffalo, New York is changing the script of golf technology through their perimeter-weighted designs, which offer players enhanced accuracy and control for every shot on the course. With their award-winning Elixir and Avant 55 golf balls, they are transforming the game for players of all skill levels. Visit OnCoreGolf.com/Travis Fulton for more details about their products that are revolutionizing the game. Now back to the Stripe Show.